It's undeniable she's been the best women's wrestler in the world all year. We've got Hangman Page taking out Ben's very favorite, Shibata.
It was a fun match, man. Crowd was really hot in Boston. I gotta say, I like Shibata, but I can't take him serious as a heel. Like, it's really hard for me too, because just a few months ago, he was a comedy act, but he was also like a serious wrestler. I just feel like with Joe and for Hobbs, it works with them being bad guys, but with Shibata, knowing the situation of what happened a few years back in New Japan, it's just like, it's awesome to see him wrestle again after what happened. So it's really hard to boost somebody like that.
Hangman and Shibata is a match we never thought we could see, right? Like, let's be honest with ourselves, given Shibata's injury history and whatnot, I actually really do like Shibata in the ops as a heel. Really? I'm not going to lie to you. That would be the only thing I slightly disagree with here, Des. And my reasoning is he's always had the plain black trunks. At this point in his career, running alongside of guys like Hobbs and Joe, he fits that just like no nonsense type heel.
I think last night was a defining moment for Shibata in a sense, just because we know what he is. He's a legend in professional wrestling, right? He's been, he wrestled Eddie Guerrero in Japan over 20 years ago. This is a guy whose resume doesn't, go unnoticed, but in the current iteration of pro wrestling, right? In American pro wrestling, a lot to what Des said, like people kind of see him like as a comedy character and they don't see him and remind of how much of a great in-ring wrestler he is. And I think that's kind of what he covered grounds with yesterday. I think he showed his worth as that. And then Hangman, man, he's the epitome of a fighting champ. That's what you want in a babyface champion.
I feel like we've gotten in this weird cycle where it's like, Hangman has the potential to be the face of AEW, and then they give him the title, and I don't know about the title reigns, and it's all about the chase and blah, 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 blah. And then he wrestles. And every single time he wrestles, it's like, but okay, now I get it again. It's like, when is this narrative going to end that he's not like the face or a pillar or the ultimate? I mean, this guy is what Shawn Michaels in the 90s pre-back injury was to the WWF, right? That's what Hangman Page has been to AEW the last few years. He is their plug and play. He can do whatever it is that you ask of him. He's great at storytelling. His talent is completely undeniable. And not only that, on top of everything else, Hangman Page sells merch, lands with the fans, and continues to evolve. He's not walking out with beers. He's not doing Stone Cold Light anymore like he was at the beginning. He's not the anxious millennial cowboy anymore. His attitude has changed. He's a father now, and he brings that to the screen. There's a realism when it comes to Hangman that also gets overlooked. I think he might be the most over-criticized guy in AEW history because it's super not fair to Hangman. I think Hangman is as good as you can ask Hangman Page to be.
Hangman Page is who Cody Rhodes thinks he was going to be in AEW.
Yes. Yep. I could not agree more. That is what Cody Rhodes wanted to be.
Adam Hangman Page is a pure definition piece of why you don't have to be, in Clark's words, corny to be a top tier babyface, right? Everyone always wants to say Ospreay is the main character, the top guy, but like that's the difference. And I think Des just said it beautifully. It's that character aspect to it that draws you to want that to be the main guy. Like I even see it in WWE, like someone like Gunther, his whole niche is just being an incredible pro wrestler. The same with Ospreay, but I always ask when we talk about Gunther, and I will even say the same for Ospreay at the second too, because I think it's fair to say what's that missing thing between those guys that doesn't put them in that same ballpark as like a Roman, right? Or in this case, like a Hangman. It's that character work.
The headline says surprise outcome. I don't know what the Vegas odds look like. We don't gamble on wrestling here. But I don't know what about Marina Shafir and Megan Bain beating TJ was surprising in any way. Have you seen them stand next to each other?
Yeah.
I mean, this is ridiculous. Marina Shafir stepped in glass on purpose to use her own human foot as a weapon less than a week ago. And then she put that same foot inside of wrestling boots, kind of, and just choked out. It just choked out Anna Jay like it was no big deal.
Yeah.
Easy money.
It's not a surprise, but I know what it is, and I understand what we're alluding to here. Ty Conti, Ty Mello put a very emotional tweet out there post match, kind of saying that, we're bummed that we lost. We kind of have been the first women's tag team, or one of the first women's tag teams established in AEW. And they've had, the dream of being the tag team champions from the epitome of the division. And a lot of people, have put out a frustration towards it, right? They feel like the original the AEW faithfuls should have gotten farther within the tournament, but we can't live in a world where we're going to reward you for what you did compared to what are we doing now and what the talent you're going against, because it's just the honest truth. They weren't ever going to beat a team of Marina Shafir and Megan Bayne. I don't know if anybody will beat this team. These are the two most imposing women on the roster.
Another win via Rainmaker taking on Mascara Dorado. He earns a shot at one of Dorado's titles, but post-match Don Callis gives him the old, you're going to have to hang out with your old buddy Takeshita that you don't really like. Speaking of, can they coexist?
For the big showdown, I've been saying this for a while. I think it's going to be the Continental Classic. I feel like Takeshita will finally beat Okada in the finals of the tournament at World's End. This is just another chapter in the story between them where Don Callis is trying to keep both of them together. And I feel like little by little, this is going to lead to some sort of civil war between the Don Callis family. Potentially Kyle Fletcher could be involved in there. So I'm very, very excited for this feud, man. Okada and Takeshita are going to tear it down. I already know they're going to do it. But it's awesome to have CML Talent Showcase. This is also for the CMLL World Trios Championships, too. So it'll be a fun match, and maybe we'll get some shenanigans, and hopefully we have this ending at World's End.
Is Mercedes Mone the best women's wrestler in the world right now after defeating Red Velvet last night on Dynamite to win the ROH women's title?
Yeah, 2025 is the year of Miss Mercedes Mone. It is the easiest answer you can put on for me with this question without a shadow of a doubt. Who is on Mercedes Mone's level this year? Nobody. You talk about a woman that has gone from company to company to company to company and taking their belts, becoming a champion. Like, that is the grandest of grand when you talk about wrestling characters, right? This was somebody who was positioned out of the WWE for politics as usual, bet on herself, took her route in Japan, came to AEW, and now she is at the top of the game. I always say this: Mercedes Mone over Sasha Banks.
If we're talking the best women's wrestler in the world, I'd say yes. The only reason why is because she's the only women's wrestler to win around the world. She has countless title belts. I was talking, we got to have a Mercedes Moné counter on the show, and every single week, I guarantee you it's going to go up by one. Right now, she's almost like Thanos at this point. She's just collecting championships over and over and over again to the point where she might have every belt. Y'all remember that WWE 12 storyline where Sheamus got every belt? That's going to be Mercedes Moné.
It's undeniable how good it is. It's undeniable she's been the best women's wrestler in the world all year. That is a joke. You want to talk about biases and like the whole tribal thing, like the tribalism, whatever, across professional wrestling. If you don't understand the value that Mercedes Moné brings, not just to AEW, but everywhere she's gone since, I don't know what product you're watching. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. Of course, that's noon Pacific, 3 o'clock over on the East Coast, 8 o'clock in the UK, and 9 a.m. for my good friends in Hawaii. On behalf of me, Shad Talks Graps, Dez, the man, the myth, the legend, And all of us at WR, we hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. Enjoy all of the shows this weekend. Full gear. We've got SmackDown. Survivor Series is on the way. Thanksgiving. I can't believe it's already November, but have a great Thursday, and we will talk to you soon. Whatever.